What's up, guys? Today what we're going to do is we're going to be doing 3D Pythagoras' theorem. I've already talked about how we do normal Pythagoras' theorem, but we're just going to apply it onto 3D shapes. And also we'll understand how to solve exam questions on it. So let's say we have something like this. It's a basic cube of 9 centimeters. How are we going to find the diagonal in the middle? Well, this diagonal can be formed as a triangle that looks something like this. So now that is a right angle and that is a right angle. So all we're going to do is we're going to find out what this length is, and then we're going to find out what this length is. So let's do that. We know this is 9 centimeters. So h squared is just going to be equal to 9 squared plus 9 squared, which is equal to 81 plus 81, 162. And now we know that h will then be equal to the square root of 162, which is the same as 9 root 2. I'm just going to keep it as 9 root 2 for now, because we need to work out what d is, d for diagonal. And again, we know that this is 9 centimeters, this is 9 root 2. So now let's look for the diagonal. D squared is just going to be 9 squared plus 9 root 2 squared, which we know is 162 because it's just square root of that. 81 plus 162 is equal to 243. So then d is going to be equal to the square root of 243, which is the same as 9 root 3, and to 2 decimal places, which is what the question asks us to do, that's just going to be 15.59. What about something like this? Well, again, we can form a triangle by putting a line in the middle. And then we can see that this diagonal is the same as this triangle hypotenuse is going to be the adjacent. And then this height is going to be the opposite, right? So now let's find out what this red length here is. H squared is going to be the same as 7.8 squared plus 5.7 squared, which is the same as 93.33. So then h is just going to be the square root of that. And now we need to find out what x is. So x squared is going to be equal to, what's this height here going to be? It's going to be 4 centimeters. So we can label it as such. X squared is going to be 4 squared plus the square root of 93.33 squared, which is just going to be 16 plus 93.33, which is just going to be equal to 109.33. So then x is equal to the square root of 109.33, which is equal to 10.45. Sorry, 10.46. It works the exact same if we have a triangular prism like this. We know that this pink line is the same as the hypotenuse of this triangle here. Okay? So we need to work out what this hypotenuse here is. H squared is going to equal 7 squared plus 8 squared, which is the same as 49 plus 64, which is equal to 113. So h is equal to root 113. Yeah? So now we can use this root 113 to find out what this pink length p is equal to. P squared is going to equal to 6 squared plus root 113 squared, which is just the same as 36 plus 113, which is equal to 149. And so therefore p is going to equal the square root of that, which is just going to equal 12.21 centimeters. What about something like this? So for this one, again, we know that this is the same as this triangle here. However, this is a midpoint here. So again, we need to work out what AB is equal to. So AB squared is just going to be equal to 5.7 squared plus 5.7 squared, which is just going to be equal to 64.98. And so therefore we know that AB is going to be the square root of 64.98. However, we know that MC, which is this line here, is half of that. So this is going to be root 64.98 over 2. I'll write that down here. Which is the same as 4.03. So therefore, x squared is going to be the same as our 5.7, which we have here. So 5.7 squared plus this 4.03 squared. And then when we square all of that, we get an answer of 21.945. And so therefore x is equal to the square root of that, which is simply equal to 4.68. What about something like this though? For this one we're told this is a square-based pyramid, but we're trying to work out the height. How are we going to do that? Well, let's take a look at what we have. We know that this diagonal here is 6 centimeters, okay. But have a look. This is the same as a triangle that looks like this, where this is a right angle. So, first thing we need to do is we need to work out what AC is. AC squared is just going to be equal to 6 squared plus 6 squared, which is the same as 72. So AC is equal to the square root of 72, which is 6 root 2. Okay? OC, however, is half of that. Yeah? Because if this whole thing here is root 72, then OC has to be half of that. Which is just going to be 3 root 2. Okay? So now we know that the height is going to be within this triangle. However, look at the height. It's not opposite the right angle. This 6 is. So therefore, h squared is going to be 6 squared minus 3 root 2 squared, which is just going to be equal to 18. Okay? And so therefore the height is going to be equal to the square root of 18, which is equal to 3 root 2. You could leave your answer like that. However, we want it in 2 decimal places, as has been the theme for this video. So our answer is 4.24 centimeters. And that is our final answer. Thank you guys very much for watching. I hope that this video made sense. If you guys liked it, please consider subscribing as it helps out the channel a lot. If you guys have any further questions or comments, ask me in the comments down below, or join my Discord server if you have an individual question to ask. Finally, if you guys want to be tutored by me, drop me an email as we can organize a meeting and a quote. Keep on learning, as you have no idea what you're capable of doing.